Listen, Saturn is not punishing you. It never was. But it is trying to tell you something. But most likely, you're resisting so much. You're looking for the delays so much that you're actually not listening to what Saturn wants from you. Saturn transits often get talked about like they're something that we have to survive, that it will be a challenging time and we just have to get through it. But Saturn is not doing that. Saturn is just redirecting you. It's taking you to where you're meant to be. And the longer you resist that, the longer you fight it, the more delays come. When you understand what Saturn wants from you, whether it is in your birth chart or transit chart, it's so easy to work with. But you're still in the blaming. You're still in the I'm having a hard life because of Saturn. That's not what Saturn does. Hello, I'm Katerina and I'm a shadow guide and astrologer. I help women to understand what the patterns and loops are that are keeping them stuck and preventing them from being their highest self, from the version of themselves that they know they are meant to be. I do this using astrology and deep inner work. Before I get into this video, I want to have a quick little update. My free Saturn workshop will be on Saturday instead of today. The internet was just doing things, but we pivot and I've moved it to Saturday, 4 p.m. GMT. In this free workshop, we'll be understanding Saturn a bit more. We'll be unpacking Saturn a little bit more. And if you're interested to completely understand your Saturn placement, literally watch something that gets so clear on it, house placement, aspects, sign, everything, then if you join the live workshop, you will get an exclusive discount to my Saturn Masterclass, which is a self-paced course. On that course, it is a literal deep dive of every house, every aspect, every sign, just like I said. So if you're interested in joining the free workshop and getting that exclusive offer for the Saturn Masterclass, then the link for the email is down below. Where Saturn is placed in your chart can often feel like that's where things are slow, where there are delays, where things fall apart maybe. But ultimately, Saturn is just trying to make sure the foundation is solid of that specific area within your life. And the delays are because either you are resisting what Saturn really wants from you, and that's why there are delays, or you have built a life that was not on a solid foundation, and now you're realizing that you need that foundation to be solid. So that's where the delay comes, because it's restructuring it. It's creating it on a solid foundation now, which takes time. Because Saturn doesn't delay your life. Saturn takes the non-foundational, the things that will not last through time, and it strips away from all of that. So you're left with the truth, the bare foundation of truth, and then you can build from that. I will explain this within the houses a little bit later on in the video. I wanted to talk about like the difference between a real no that is not working and not just yet, like we need to keep building still. There are some things Saturn removes permanently because they are literally not meant for you. You know, take Saturn out of it, the universe. If you think of it as the universe, it's easier sometimes when people have such a negative view of Saturn. The universe doesn't want you to be in a relationship that doesn't serve you. Saturn is the same. Saturn doesn't want you to be in a job that no longer makes you thrive, so it will remove that job. Some things Saturn pauses when you're just not ready for it. And again, if we don't listen to Saturn and we just do the universe will not give you money if you cannot handle your money now. It's the same thing. Now, a no is when you genuinely feel like the door shut on your face, that was a no opportunity, like probably never going to see that person again, probably will never get that job, that is a no, clear, like very, very clear, right? But a not ready yet is something that you're still building. You can see little tiny bits, maybe. If you haven't done the deep inner work, that's where Saturn feels like there are delays, but you're just not ready yet. And from my experience, a lot of the time, it's because that person hasn't done the deep inner work, or they are letting their old self control their new self, control the reality now. They're letting their old identity still control how they handle money or how they put themselves out there. They're not letting the new self thrive. So the question you have to ask yourself, whether it's a Saturn transit, so look at the house that Saturn is transiting in Aries right now, or whether it's where Saturn is natally, ask yourself this question: who do I have to become in order for me to thrive in this area of life? If you're interested in understanding that a bit more, when the Saturn Masterclass is available, you will get Saturn specific prompts for you. Now, you can use the ones that are transiting. So, for instance, if Saturn is in your fifth house, you can look at the Saturn in the fifth house. But if Saturn is transiting your 11th house, you can look at the 11th house prompts. You can do both if you want to really understand what Saturn wants from you and what is being asked of you. I've designed these prompts specifically to help people get really clear on what is blocking them. So earlier in the video, I was talking about Saturn and what it wants from you and how you might not be ready for that. And I didn't want to just say that and not give you examples, not give you something that you could go away with, unless you join my free live workshop. I wanted to go through the houses with it. So get a piece of pen, paper, write this shit down, pause it, whatever you need to do. First house. Are you still acting like your old self? Are you not setting boundaries? Are you not sticking up for yourself still? Second house. Have you worked on your scarcity mindset? Are you still acting with money anxious, i.e., holding all of it and not letting it go and thinking about something in 6 months' time to pay for? Or are you avoidant? Are you not looking at your bank account? Are you not doing a financial tracker? Your scarcity mindset is the reason, and that is Saturn in the second house, and it is asking you to be so clear on your worth. That was a long one. Saturn in the third house. Are you speaking out if you don't agree with something, or if you've got ideas, or if you've thought of something around a dinner table, but you feel like, oh, my words aren't responsible enough? Like, what if I'm not saying the right thing? What if this? Are you actually putting yourself out there, communicating, putting your words out there? Fourth house. Are you working on your inner safety, your inner security? Are you actually realizing that you are your home? Fifth house. Are you showing up creatively? Are you enjoying things? Are you having pleasure without feeling like you have to be the one that has everything together? Are you letting loose? Saturn in the sixth house. Are you serving yourself first? Are you pouring love into yourself first? Are you quitting the job because it just doesn't make you thrive anymore? Even though you may think that that's not the responsible thing to do, are you putting yourself first? Seventh house. Are you actually saying what you want within a relationship? Are you scared that you'll lose them? Or you scared of commitment because you feel like marriage is such a huge thing? This can show in either way, but are you actually speaking what you want in this life? What are your values? Are you speaking that to people? Are you telling them? To make sure that you both are very, very clear that your foundation will be solid if you start this relationship. Saturn in the eighth house. This one can be a sensitive one. So I'm going to try and say this not being, I'm not blind to what a Saturn in the 8th house could look like for someone, but I'm just giving a question out there. So take a moment or skip it if you don't want to hear this question. If you've had difficult upbringing, and I'm not brushing past that, you can find someone out there who could help you through the processes that you've done. I've had a couple of people work through EMDR with this placement. So yeah, I'm not brushing past this at all, and we would go through deeper, especially if you did the Saturn Masterclass, you'd be able to understand that a lot deeper. Saturn in the 8th. Are you fearful of being vulnerable for fear of abandonment? Are you worried that someone will abandon you, that you shouldn't speak your desires, you shouldn't speak your, like, the deep vulnerable stuff, the depths of your soul stuff, because someone might leave you, someone might trick you, someone might manipulate you? The key is in the vulnerability, but making sure that those people are safe. Don't seek safety in people who don't actually make you feel safe. Find those people that make you want to be vulnerable in those spaces and push you to be vulnerable in those spaces, but in like a loving way, not in a forceful way, but just in a relationship. Like, this is how a relationship starts. This is how a soul connection starts. Again, 8th house is a very, very complex house. There are multiple different meanings to the 8th house. So it's not just one fits all. But in the masterclass, I'll go like really in depth into what the 8th house could look like for a Saturn placement. 9th house. Are you still trying to be like relatable to people around you? Do you want to share like your big, wild, wonderful ideas? Don't wait for that. Don't believe are you still believing like the religion, the belief that you were given as a child? This is the placement where you have to explore your own ideas and you have to build a foundation on your own ideas, from your own beliefs, from things that you have studied yourself. You've explored the world, you've explored the books, you've delved deep into your mind to understand like what you actually believe, and then build your belief system, your teachings, everything on that foundation. Saturn in the 10th. What you're actually building, is that like what you want to do in your career, in your public life? Is that actually what you want to do, or do you feel like you should do that? Get clear on what you want to actually do with your life, what you want to build within your career space, within your public self. Saturn in the 11th house. Are you putting yourself out there? Are you connecting with others in spaces where you know you might meet your people? Or are you avoiding that? Are you avoiding those spaces, those collective spaces? Are you actually being, Aquarius energy, which is 11th house, is fixed. So it can feel like, I know best. I know don't tell me what I don't know. It's outside of this world. Like, Aquarius is like collective, like think of the collective. We're so much more than we are, but also it can be really stuck in their ideas and not allow for connections to come in that might have a little bit of different idea on you. Your values are core aligned, but there may be a little bit where they might not agree with, like 10% of you agree with, and you feel like, oh, they're not my friend, but they could really be like a soul friendship based on the core values that you both align with, you need to be a bit flexible with that. But ask yourself, are you putting yourself in those spaces where you can meet those people, where your core values align? Or are you still putting yourself in spaces that are just have people just because you want to feel connection? Saturn in the 12th house. Are you building your spiritual structure, or are you still looking for something outside of yourself to fix it? Are you delving deep into routines and tasks and to-do lists and your daily routines rather than focusing on your spiritual side, your oneness? Are you meditating? Are you praying? These are the things with Saturn in the 12th house can really bring the spiritual solitude. Whatever house Saturn is transiting in your chart, or whatever house Saturn is natally in, it's all asking the same question. Are you going to take responsibility for that area of your life now? Stop trying to brush past things. You know, how do you expect to make more money if your core belief is based on scarcity? How do you expect to find the love of your life if you're still avoiding what your values are within a relationship and if they align? How do you expect to build the career that you've always dreamed of if you're still in the career that you don't like and you're just doing for the moment? Start something. Take responsibility of that area within your life. No one is coming to save you. I'm sorry, they're not. You have to start it. You will keep repeating the same lessons, the same events. Delays will keep happening. You have to take responsibility of that area of your life now. Most people respond to Saturn by resisting, pushing through, trying to be consistent and have a to-do list every single day without putting rest into that to-do list. Some people don't like the consistency. Some people don't like the devotion, the dedication to that. They want still someone to save them. So they kind of collapse. Neither of those work. Like whether you're resisting and you're trying to push through, or you're collapsing to the whole idea of it and you just don't want to deal with it. None of those work. Surrendering doesn't mean like giving up, or it doesn't mean that you can't move forward. Surrendering means you take action, you put yourself first, you show up differently, still believing that things will get better, still believing that Saturn will give you what you desire, as long as your foundation is true. But the foundation is you. You have to keep pouring into that new version of yourself that you want to be, that new version of your life that you want it to look like, whichever house Saturn is in. There are a few words that when I think of Saturn, these are it. Responsibility. And that's sometimes a harsh word for people. They find it restrictive. But responsibility just means like you're saving yourself. You're taking responsibility for your life rather than waiting for someone else or waiting for validation. Devotion. You are devoted to yourself, to your path, to your life. And anything that shows up that doesn't have the same devotion to you leaves. If you are working in a job that is sucking your soul, that is not devoted to you. If you are in a relationship or a friendship where they are talking down at you and they make fun of you, that is not devoted to you. If you are holding on to every penny, scared to give, that is not devotion to you. That is scared. That's scarcity. It's time to sit with yourself. Come to the free workshop if you want. Invest in the Saturn Masterclass if you want. It's time to sit. It's time to understand Saturn so clearly, what Saturn wants from you, and to start moving forward like that. But you can't move forward without knowing the deep shadows of it, without knowing what the depths of your soul wants. That's where astrology shadow work comes in for me. That's what I've done in my own life. I couldn't say I wanted this life if I was still acting on the level of performatism, still doing what other people wanted me to do. Because eventually that's spoken to my mind and that's what I thought I wanted to do. That's where the shadow work comes in. That's where the deep inner work comes in. You have to stay open to that change now. And you have to show up differently. You can't show up as the version of yourself that you used to be. Otherwise, if you don't do that deep inner work, you most likely will avoid. You'll stay busy. You'll put yourself in spaces where you're not meant to be, and you know that because you come back feeling a little bit meh. You will complain about your job, complain about all of it, but not actually do anything about it. Not change one area of your life. You avoid it because you're scared. Scared of asking yourself those deeper questions. But that's where the real transformation happens. Saturn is not your enemy. Saturn is the part of you that is like refusing to stay small, refusing to stay stuck in that job, refusing to stay stuck in that relationship, refusing to stay stuck in that scarcity mindset. Saturn is placed in your chart to show what you need to work on, what your soul is here to do. And many people don't answer that call, and that's absolutely okay. They're comfortable with their life, they're happy with their life, that's absolutely fine. But if you're watching this video, you're not one of them. You seek, and that's because you hear the call. This is what we're going to dive deep into on Saturday at 4 p.m. GMT time. It's completely free, like I said. You just have to sign up to the email below and you'll get sent a link to that live. All you have to do is start acting differently to the way you were. Saturn does not want you to be your old self, because if it did, you wouldn't be stuck right now. You wouldn't be having delays right now. The delays are pivots. The delays are something isn't working here. We need to change it. So if you're interested in joining the free workshop, the link is below for that. And if you join that workshop, you also get an exclusive discount for the Saturn Masterclass, which is a self-paced, self-led course. It's a very, very long one. I go through every single house, showing you the polarity of the house opposite, showing you which house you would have a square from, an opposition from. I go through the signs. It's something, I feel like Saturn is something like I want everyone to be able to understand, because it can really change your life, especially if your ascendant ruler is Saturn. Even if you have Saturn in the first house. To be honest, any Saturn placement, because there's part of you that's not being true to yourself, and there's part of you that's not being true to your soul. So wherever Saturn will be an area where you're not truthful to yourself, and you need to build that foundation on truth. If you have watched this entire video, then thank you so much, and feel free to like the video, and I invite you to subscribe if you haven't already. Remember, Saturn isn't punishing you. Saturn is just trying to get you to where you're meant to be. And that means you have to burn the old self, the old ways of thinking, the old loops, the old patterns. Saturn is asking you to build from new. build a foundation that is actually truthful to you. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next video. Or I'll see you on Saturday if you join the workshop.